boom. Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Got
Hello.
the three musketeers here.
There you go.
Anyway, let's see who we got here. Who has shown up? We got Mr. Rhodes is here. Hello. Ben, hello. We know Hank is here. Everybody's saying hello, hello. What else we got? Klaus, we know, is here. Mr. Hardy is here. Hello, Mick. Let's see. Stella said she was going to stop in, so hopefully we'll see Stella. Everyone's saying
is he going to be live from the camper van or back in the shop? Or
probably in the shop. Didn't she correct her shop Wi-Fi or whatever the heck that was?
Yeah, she said.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought she was correcting it. I know she had some terrible shop stuff. Hey, there's Scott. Give a little shout out there. The carburetor stand. You got to find what is it? Fuel resistant magnetic stickers, Scott. Because if you saw in the photo, it went the minute I sprayed carburetor cleaner, the decal it's on the magnet went it shriveled all up. So I know depending on where you buy them from, you can get oil and gas resistant ones. Depending, because they put a coating on them, like a varnish or a lacquer or something over the decals. They do something to keep them from. Because carb spray is violent stuff anyway. It's really violent stuff. Let's see. Randy's here. Hello, Randy. What's going on? Graduation. Yeah, graduation. That's right.
I don't know how many people don't know that carburetor spray will hit your nervous system.
Oh, immediately. Yeah, toluene. There's toluene in it.
Toluene
it goes right in your skin.
Yeah.
And acetone. Yeah.
Yeah. But toluene's worse. Toluene will go right into your skin.
Toluene. When I was a kid, I built those plastic model airplanes.
Oh yeah, and you use that to melt them. Yeah.
Yeah, it melts the plastic, and then they sort of go together. Oh yeah.
TGM. The idea of the carb stand is we're just giving a shout out to our friend Scott in Wisconsin, the Greasy Shop Rag. He's got an eBay channel selling parts and stuff, and he came up with a little shop stand. There he is. Oop. What do you say about regular stickers? Yeah, right away. That's all right. But I mean, love the stand though. He used it the other day, and someone was asking me if you put a carb on and the holes are a little off. Well, you just put it in one hole and just tilt it on the other. So either way, still works good. It's nice to have your hands free. That's for sure. You know, everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Shawnee Hills, hello. So this week we finally got the 9-inch lathe loaded and off to Hank's house. So we got to make some space for my 10-inch lathe to go in the basement, but hopefully, Brucey, it looks like he's going to be coming up. He just texted me. So the 9-inch lathe, that'll be a nice winter project for Hank. I'll go up there a few times. We'll get that going and, have some fun. Crazy week, though. We had rain. We had hot days. We had cool days. It's just been a crazy week. But as far as equipment, oh, my God. I mean, I've got tractors up the wazoo. We got one of Hank's mowers sold to somebody, which was good. That's why he came down. We had a nice lunch yesterday. Hey, Brucey.
Oh, yeah. Good lunch.
We had a good deep fried lunch that didn't agree with Hank too much, but it was a good lunch.
Well, fried food.
Yeah.
The fried part.
Yeah. No, but it was good. It had shrimp and what did we have? We had stuffed clam. You had the cod, the fish and chips. You had what is it?
All desert food, huh?
Yeah, right. Fried shrimp, fried scallops, stuffed clam, the cod, the French fries or chips. I mean, it was good. It was good. Yeah. And then Frank got a root beer float, actually.
Oh, yeah. Root beer float.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
sounds like an old.
Was it A&W?
It was good.
I don't know if they used A&W.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was good though. I just had a large root beer, but anyway.
Yeah.
No, it was good.
Hey, Wayne, I'm going to give you a call one of these days because I sent you something and they want to know if that address is correct or whatever before they resend it. So,
okay.
I guess it came back to the supplier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The number is 494, and I won't tell you the rest because every time on Google it comes up the street. It comes up a house number across the road. So our house number is 494.
Yeah. No,
Bell,
I'm gonna give
Bell.
you a call.
Okay, yeah, give me a ring one night.
I gave him both your numbers, Wayne. I had your cell and your
Yeah.
landline. So
Yeah, you'll likely get me better on the landline than on the
I'll be right
cell.
back.
Yeah.
I was working today on a never saw one before, a Snapper 200Z, which is a 0-turn 20 horse, but it had an electric operated lift on it. And I know on these electric lifts, the yellow switch has contacts in there, which are just rockers operated by 2 pins. And there's a bunch of videos out there on cleaning those switches because the contacts get all messed up. I cleaned everything, and now when I put it back together, it's like click, 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 click. So you know the switch is working in both directions. But I think the linear actuator is bad. So he's got his deck like this.
Yeah, that's for the deck lift, right?
Yeah, it doesn't lift that much, and it's got a circular disc with a slot in it.
Yeah.
And you can see the disc. It's supposed to rotate as you lift the deck up and down to tell you what position you're at. But right now, it'll move maybe a 1/16 of an inch. That's it. So I don't know if there's something binding or what. But the deck is so cocked when you go to click on it. Oh, here comes Stella. Hold on. Oh, Stella!
Stella, come on up.
So when you go to click on it, you could hear the contacts making contact and all that, but nothing's moving. So I don't know if the servo is jammed or what. I'll take it apart tomorrow. But so much. I've got tractors up the wazoo and mowers and, oh my gosh, all kinds of stuff. Busy as hell. How about you guys? Everybody busy?
Swamped.
Yeah.
I
I got mowers, chainsaws, weed whackers.
How's the,
sorry.
No, it's a.
Go ahead, Kenny.
I was just gonna ask Stella, how's the cat like the van?
We're doing much better in the van.
We
still
we
we are doing much better. The thing that I know is still a problem is the actual van moving down the road part. Once we get wherever we're to, it's.
What do you mean the motion?
Okay.
Doesn't like the motion, or?
I guess, but there's all these creeks and
Oh, okay.
sway. I need to get new shocks on the thing. I think that'll help a little bit there. But there's all these noises, and you stop and go, and
Well, you got like wood in there too, or a lot of wooden stuff, right? A lot of wood.
Yeah. There's a lot of wood, and she I have discovered is a forest floor dweller. She is not, up in the treetop. So she goes right down to the bottom somewhere. I think I mentioned earlier that I discovered that I can mash the brakes all the way down and I won't crush her chest or skull when that happens. there's enough room there. So, but no, she hasn't really gone under there much more, but it's getting better. 2 weekends in a row, long journey. We're fine.
Good.
She doesn't like being on the dash to see out.
She started getting on the dash when I was parked the last time around, because I have a little window seat that hooks with suction cups. But on the way back, she sat in the passenger seat and sort of looked out the window as the stuff is flying by. She's like I said, we're getting better. It's just what you get used to.
Got to put the seatbelt on that cat.
I know. That's really bad. My hope is she'll just bounce around. She's so cats always land on their feet.
Hey,
but
Erica.
but the other thing is, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but I found there's a tiny baby, looks just like Carmen. I discovered her under my garden shed.
Yeah, Mike.
I don't know if you can see this or not, but I started.
Oh
wow.
She looks amazingly just like Carmen. And so if I can catch her and fix her.
Oh, you're feeding her. You'll have a new cat shortly.
Well, I'm feeding her so I can catch her and get her fixed.
Is it really feral right now? Like really wild?
No. I heard her crying last week before I closed the windows, turned the air conditioner. That was weird. And so I was out, working on my tomatoes this morning, and I heard this sad little cry, and I started talking to her, and she talked back to me, and I put some food out there. And about 25 years ago, I fixed all the cats in the neighborhood, and we haven't had any cats. I don't know who they belong to, but I figure if they're on my property, then I can trap them and fix them. And so I did that.
Wait. You're fixing what? Little pocket knife and rubber band?
Exactly. Little rubber bands on the little trouble fluffles, that
Anecdotes.
I'm not going anywhere near Stella's place.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Well, you walk out, they're going, "Hi, how you doing?"
Hi, hey.
Little Bee Gees action. Man.
Oh, boy.
So
Barely alive, barely alive.
anybody in the
It's the only
States
house where the
certified
vacuum
mowers?
salesman takes a big thing outside.
Any of you
Well,
guys in the States get certified mowers that they sell here at Canadian Tire?
I got a
Never
buddy.
seen them.
No, they don't sell them in the States.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just haven't seen one. That doesn't mean that doesn't exist.
Brucey, is that a poodle?
Yeah, big, eh?
What are you
It's
feeding
big.
that baby thing?
Well, he's just come for the day because his mom and dad are off to their granddaughter's graduation.
Yeah. You got a saddle for him?
Hey,
Yeah. Woo-hoo. It's just raining like cats and dogs. His name is Finn. And we're going to start looking after him a little bit more. They have family everywhere. So they just need a dog. They just need to drop him off for a day or a day and a half and come and get him again. So they're our Mexico friends, but they live in Red Deer.
So you go to Mexico to get Red Deer friends?
Yeah. We met them at the condo. They used to live in British Columbia, close to Steve.
Okay.
And then his mother is going to be 100 in 2 weeks. So a year and a half ago, they moved out here for family, and they've come home to roost. And so they live a couple miles away. It's really nice, and it's just great. Like, we do things for them, and they do things for us. They drive us to the airport in December, so we don't have to take a cab or a bus or something. So very nice.
That's nice.
And then, yeah, it is nice. And then they stay with us for 3 days down there until their timeshare is up, and then they move.
It's the Red
Brucey,
Deer
just in
Mountain.
case you didn't see the video. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, we
right.
could
I have
video.
not seen it. I've been, like you guys, I've been working my rear end off.
Good.
And then when I do that, I can't do anything the next day.
how's the gardening going, Bruce?
Everything's up. My nasturtiums are only that tall.
Mine
Yeah.
are about 10 inches right now. 8 to
Okay.
10. Yeah.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Mick. 50,
So
yeah,
we
50.
got in the dreaded I worked on the mower and cleaned the carburetor job, and the guy says, "Can you just put the carburetor back on?" So I said, "Yeah, is it clean?" He said, "Yeah, totally cleaned. I guarantee it." I said, "Well, you realize you're paying me $40 plus tax to put this back on. That's a half-hour minimum." The guy said, "No problem." I said, "Anything happens, it's more." So put the carb all back on. Oh, and I tell him I'm going to drain the fuel too, since he cleaned it. He says it's fresh fuel. I said, "Did you check if there was anything left in the tank?" He said, "No." I said, "I'll put a liter of our fuel in. It's fresh." Guy says, "Okay." I put the carb all back together. I put a liter of fuel in it. Go to start it, won't start, and it's leaking fuel. Call the guy up. Say, "It's leaking from your bowl gasket. Needle valve appears to be sealing. It's not coming up through the emulsion tube, but you're leaking from the bowl. I got to take it off again." He said, "What's that going to cost?" I said, "More money."
Yeah.
I said,
more
you
money.
ain't getting, you ain't getting this for a half hour now, buddy. I says, "You told me everything was good. It's no good." So I take the whole thing apart again. I said, "And I'm going to put it through the and then I said, "Did you clean the pilot valve?" The guy says, "Nope." I said, "Okay, we'll put it through the ultrasonic cleaner." Goes in the ultrasonic cleaner. We clean the pilot valve. We put it back together, and we noticed the front gasket, the holes around the studs are so big that it's dropping down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's blocking the one hole. So pull
The
out
breather hole, yeah.
The
yeah,
top,
so
yeah. Yep.
pull out the Permatex spray adhesive, great stuff. Stick the gasket on there, let it dry, put everything back together. Won't even fart, right? Won't even fart. So give it a shot. Give it a shot of carb cleaner. No, won't fire through the carb. Okay, let's check if we got spark.
No
Pull
spark.
the boot off, check it. We got spark. pull the plug. Okay, it's torch
Oh,
FK7 or something. It's
F-
one of the weird
yeah.
ones, right?
Yeah.
But I put it in the tester that Wayne sent us, and it's got good spark.
but that tester is not under compression.
No, gotcha. So, anyways, clean the spark plug, put it back in, give it a shot of carb cleaner before I put the plug in, try to fire it up. Nothing. Call the guy up, says you're at $143, and
It don't run.
It don't run. It needs either a valve job or somebody hit something and sheared the key, but I don't think it's a key. I think it's the valves are out of adjustment.
What kind of engine is it? What is it, Brian?
Okay, there we get into the other problem. I can't, like, there's numbers on this. I would think it's a power mower, but it's not. I don't think. It's a Honda clone.
Yeah.
Power Smart.
It's got numbers in it, and for me to get any information, I could pull up a parts drawing.
Yeah.
And then I could call Quebec, a company called Mecanair, spend anywhere from 1 to 5 hours on the phone trying to get information on what I need. Like, I can't even get...
you got a picture you could share with us? Anything you share?
No, I don't. I'm not that tech savvy, buddy. I told you, Jake does all this stuff.
No, you don't have a picture on your phone? Nothing on your phone?
Yeah, like it's out in the shop.
Okay.
So anyways, this thing's got all kind of linkage. It's got an air vane link that hooks. You would think it hooks on top. It hooks down below. Then there's a dielectric spring one that hooks on the top. Then you got your regular throttle with the governor spring on it. The governor spring that sets your tension for the RPM, totally the wrong spring. I know that just by looking at it. Somebody put a regular extension spring on it.
Spring.
What is the tractor, Wayne? You said discount tire. What is it?
It's a self-propelled mower made by a company called Certified. CERTIFIED.
I'm going to take a look. Hold on.
I think those are
the dreaded certified mowers. So, anyways, the flywheel, I pull the nut off. I look down. Well, you can't see it. You know why? Because it's got a Woodruff key in it. And somebody on here has said they've seen one sheared. I've never seen one sheared. You can't tell unless you pop the flywheel. But I said, you know what? It's got a Woodruff in it. It's likely not sheared. It's valves.
It's lined up.
Yeah, I take the valves and I set them. I don't have any valve settings, so I set them to 4 and 6 on the exhaust, figuring, you know what? That's got to be close. Put it all back together. Yeah, she fires up now.
Oh, here we go. Certified push mower, Canadian Tire. Okay,
Yeah.
150 cc.
It's the same.
This
engine
one's a
that
174
It's the same.
bigger one.
It's the same engine Mick just did a video on.
on a 174.
It doesn't matter if it's the big or the small ones. They're the same engines. But Mick just did a.
Oh, 174. I see it. 174.
But I don't think it's a power more engine.
It's not.
No?
It's a Chinese clone engine.
Yeah,
it's of undetermined origins.
You can take that carburetor and use your thumbnail and make a mark in it.
There's a few videos on YouTube.
Well, I saw one guy. He did a video on what the heck did he do? I think it was on the blade or belt or something for the self-propelled. And then he gives you, for another good example is you try to find out what's the oil capacity on this. You can't find out crap on this thing.
They don't want you to know.
Don't know.
But it's a $300 lawnmower.
Well, over here it's self-propelled. I think they're about
$339.99 out of Canadian Tire.
Oh yeah, where? Denmark?
No,
Canadian Tire.
No, hold on, no.
In Canada.
St. John's West, Mount Pearl.
They must be on sale because the self-propelled ones are normally $5 something plus tax.
It says out of stock at Canadian Tire.
Okay, I went to.
Yeah, I got them all sitting here waiting to get fixed.
I went over to Canadian Tire about 3 weeks
And
ago.
the cables are a pain in the butt.
Wow.
You got to order them from Quebec. $30 for the cables, $15 shipping.
And the 150cc is only about, what does it say? 280 Canadian. those are cheap Chinese mowers. They're
yeah,
the
no
worst,
doubt
the
about it.
worst ever. Really,
Yeah,
it's a
terrible.
waste of money. Any which way
I
you go.
have one in my shed. They're really nice looking little mowers, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the plastic, they can make it look any way they want.
Yeah.
It's like the Power Smart. It looks good, but it
Yeah.
comes in for repairs on a weekly
No, but I mean,
basis.
what you save in buying cost, you pay the mechanic because
We all know
It's-
that.
Yeah.
yeah. So, Stella, give us a smile, will you? Nope, no.
Don't go
No.
there.
All righty.
Nope.
Okay.
We're not
Alright.
going there today.
All righty.
So that was for all the viewers that think they're going to save money by taking stuff apart and then bringing it for
Yeah.
repair. Don't happen. Don't work
Yeah.
like that. It costs you more.
Oh
I
yeah.
have a Power Smart in the shed. I can't find a card for it, and it leaks a little bit, right? Out of the needle and seat. Just
Yeah.
a tiny bit. You put a rag down there, and there's about a spot this big the next day. And I have taken a drill bit and just lightly rolled it on the brass seat,
Yeah.
just to touch it, right? Not even I'm not pushing on it. And that helped, but it didn't stop it. And I can't change the needle because I can't find one like it.
I'm looking at the manual for it.
For the Power Smart?
No,
No.
for the certified.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the
It's-
manual doesn't have a parts breakdown or anything.
It's in French.
All right. Well, we're a
Merveilleux.
we're a
Sounds
like
bilingual country since the first Trudeau was in power.
Je ne parle français, no. Uh-uh.
Interesting.
I remember those days.
The first
In fact, when
Trudeau.
I was a kid, there was a long period of time where I didn't know there was anything else but a Trudeau in the prime minister. We don't have limits on that, eh? Like they could just keep winning and winning and winning and winning.
Ah.
So
Well, my
it's-
dad always said, son, if there's one group you're going to vote for your whole life, it's the Liberals because they're for the working person, right?
Mm.
Well, guess what, Dad? He's gone, but big mistake.
That's all
now.
changed.
No more for the working man or woman,
Let's see.
all for themselves.
Yeah. The Laurentian group.
16.
Ones that live on the river.
And then I
Yeah.
just had a customer bring me one of those big 3-wheeled leaf blowers. You know them ones that guys use to blow off driveways if they're doing sealing?
Yeah, we have them all the time.
Yeah.
We don't see many out here.
Anybody want to buy one? He gave it to me. He says, this thing won't run. So anyways, I figured, you know what? The tires are even holding air. So anyways, I figured I'll give it a shot at carb cleaner. Oh, she fired right up, ran smooth as silk. I just got to clean the carb.
Yeah, they're too heavy to push around. They do have them self-propelled too.
No, this one's really light. It's got air tires on it.
Yeah, push it around the yard a while.
Oh no,
I've
I
seen
hired
those,
somebody to do that.
Very similar. I've seen those ones with they're like
Yeah.
an edger, but they're a 5-horse Briggs and Stratton edger with a
Mm.
pretty good size plastic.
Hey, I know I did today, and you guys have probably done this in the past. I had this 0-turn snapper I'm working on, this 200Z. And on the back of it, they always have a guard, like it goes like this, on the back of a 0-turn. So I'm trying to get the spark plug. The spark plug's facing this way. And I have the spark plug wrench with the extension, and I'm going to tighten it, and I hear, I go,
Now you need a new plug.
I need a new plug. It's a porcelain. I said, son of a... But they have it so that you need a swivel. You cannot just get only by like 1/8 of an inch, but it's enough to go crack.
Yeah.
And I was like, So
Just like on the
now I got to charge a customer for 2 RC12Cs. RC12YCs. There you go.
Some of the snow blowers are like that. The handle's in the way to get the cover
Yeah.
off.
Oh.
and sometimes on the generators the spark plug is right up against
Pain in
the
the
frame
butt.
and you can't get a wrench in there.
Nighthawk, how you
Or
doing?
the overhead valve cover
Good,
is
thank you,
in the
Nighthawk.
way,
Thank you.
and you can't unless you got the right extension in there. Lots of fun.
At least we're not. Last week we
Oh,
just complained
Mr.
about
Clown.
customers.
I
Now
know
we're
Johnny was
complaining
here.
about stuff. We are going down to 2 degrees tonight Celsius.
Holy cow.
Cool.
Why so
Wow.
cold? Just a front or something or what?
Well, I think that finally it's been really cool all spring.
Yeah.
And I think the big change is happening right this weekend, right?
Yeah,
We're
it's
going to
global
get summer by
warming.
Monday. We'll have summer by Monday.
It's global warming, Bruce.
Yeah.
It's all
It is
cycles.
cool. No, it is. It is. Somewhere else.
Oh, it's cold here today. We just turned off the air conditioning.
I'm just going to put mine in tonight.
Yeah, we
No,
turned
we-
ours on Thursday
Yeah,
night.
we had ours on, but Lori just shut it off and opened the windows today. It's so cool.
Oh no,
outside.
today was a beautiful day in the morning up until around noontime or so. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was like 14 Celsius with a nice breeze and no humidity. It was gorgeous.
It must be hotter than a pistol down by John's.
John's saying 90 degrees or close to 90. Yeah.
Mhm.
In some areas
Yeah,
in
it's,
Texas, 118.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
she was
pretty
hotter
hot
than a
here
$2
today, but the
pistol.
humidity's not so bad.
Yeah.
Could be
Mm.
worse.
Yesterday, when I was with Ken, I must have got a little bit of sunstroke too, but just being out there in the sun and the
It was
humidity,
hot yesterday. It was hot. Yeah.
That's right.
it made my stomach
Mm.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely hot yesterday.
You sure it wasn't something you ate?
Well, it was the greasy, well, not greasy, but the fried stuff.
You gotta talk nice.
That's greasy.
Hey, Jim. But there ain't nothing like fresh seafood deep fried.
Oh, I know.
I like it just.
Oh, the scallops. Oh my God, they were delicious.
Oh,
Oh,
they
But the
melted
thing
in
is,
my
melt
when
in
it's
your mouth.
deep
Yeah,
fried-
they're good.
When it's deep fried, you can't taste what's inside.
Oh no, this one you can. Very, very light beer batter, like a beer batter. This place is literally on the ocean. It's right next door. So they bring the food in fresh, and they have a fish market there. They're actually a fish market. So you actually can go
Nice.
inside the market, pick what you want, then they cook it whatever way you want. But I told him next time we'll get the what you call it, the broiled. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
good to have
We
fresh
don't eat-
seafood.
We don't eat much seafood here because we're in the.
Well, like a lobster roll here. If you
Yeah,
go to a
well,
regular place for a lobster roll, $30 US. This place is 24. So it's
The
not too bad.
closest ocean to us is
Right,
1,200
and that
miles.
lobster roll down here is $50. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet.
You got that, eh, Klaus?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
Anything we get that's from the ocean has been frozen for a couple of years.
oh, yep.
But when we're in
Right.
Mexico, we hog out on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
yeah.
there's nothing like fresh seafood. Oh my gosh.
That is good stuff.
Those scallops were so sweet. Oh,
hmm
they were good.
I bet they were.
And that's funny. They gave us like a tub of tartar sauce. Usually, you know how you go to a restaurant and they give you that little thing. You're like, what's that for? One shrimp.
Yeah.
They gave us literally like a 6-inch diameter, 1.5 inch thick, full of tartar.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And it was the stuff I like, the sweet tartar sauce. It's got a little bit of a sweet relish in it instead of the
Yeah.
sour. It was really good. Yeah.
I wonder where that word tartar comes from, because tartar here
Should
is
be.
actually a dish where you have
Yeah, like
very
steak
hard-
tartare. Yeah, steak tartare or something.
Tartar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Raw
steak
meat.
tartare,
Yeah.
raw meat.
Yeah.
With egg yolk and
Egg- yeah, yeah.
capers and onions and oh man, that's
Yeah.
fast.
Well, tartar meaning it's a
I'm sorry,
tart
Bruce.
taste.
I know we have a DNA crossing, but when it comes to cuisine, we don't. No.
Yeah. I was forced to eat all that stuff when I was a kid by gunpoint.
Horse.
Yeah, and so was I, but I ate it. I liked it.
Some of it is okay.
Yeah, well, it's different.
Oh, here we go. Klaus, I figured it out. Hold on. Good old computer, Wikipedia.
See, here comes the Ukrainians again. They're everywhere.
Damn Ukrainians.
They are.
One right
Yeah.
here.
Right now they are.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, just a minute. I got to put a note on my phone.
Bruce, you.
That sounds good.
Oysters. Yeah, they got oysters too. Good oysters, absolutely.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Be right back.
Anything
like,
to keep cool, man.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, keep
Remember
it
years
cool.
ago, my
I need
grandmother
more
had
beer.
had the ice in front of the fan, and she
Mhm.
pushed the air through the ice bowl of ice with the fan pushing it
That's what's known
Really?
as a swamp cooler.
through. Yeah, my grandmother always had that on the kitchen table.
Makes a difference. I mean, when you don't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brings the humidity up a little bit.
Right.
Oh, so
Well, that only helps in places that have low humidity. Around here, it ain't gonna help.
What are you working on, Stell? You got anything going?
Well, I got an old. My neighbor brought over a mower that I've worked off and on. It's kind of hilarious. I've featured it on my Instagram page with
that was good.
Somebody put like caulking, like you would put around, a bathtub caulk or something that was all around the bowl seal, and it's just like one thing after another, and it's been a couple of years, and her husband said, hey, she's going to watch some of your videos and try to figure out to fix it. And he says, that's stupid. Just pay her the money and just have her fix it. So anyway, a week goes by. So she brings it over and I look down at her and I say, where's your air filter? And she goes, what air filter? And I pulled the cover off and I said, you see that thing right there? That's missing. And she goes, I've never seen it before. And, and the thing you can laugh at that. But the thing is people don't know what they don't know. So you try to do the best you can. Hopefully the piston's not too scored and not too much junk has gone through there, but she has no recollection of that thing ever being on there.
You should try to tell somebody here that there's no air filter on a snowblower.
Right. Well, yeah, there's that too. But but when I was in Kansas about a month or so ago, I was seeing somebody and they said, oh, here's the lawnmower lady. I said, hey, how you doing? What's wrong with my lawnmower? And I mentioned, well, you got to do some basic things. Check your oil, check your air filter. And the guy said, there's an air filter on these? I said, yeah, look right here. And so, I don't blame people for not knowing that kind of stuff. But, hey, if people pull the cord, it starts, they run the mower. They don't think about maintenance. They don't think about even reading the owner's manual. Nobody
Well,
does.
you know what it is lately at my place? I've been having a lot of people come by with 2-strokes, and I don't know if it's the beginning of the season now. We're only a month in or so, and they're still reusing their 2-stroke mix from last year, and a lot of the gas is evaporated, so now it's like a 20-to-1 mix.
Yeah.
And one guy, I don't trust anyone now. Anyone who comes with a 2-stroke, I pour it out. And the guy comes in, he goes, you got to adjust the mixture on my trimmer. He goes, you just adjusted it the other day. I said, I adjusted it the other day because I put True Fuel in it, gave you the can of True Fuel, and I adjusted it for it. What's in there now? So I pour it out. You couldn't even see through it. It's like dark blue. Yeah. And I said, wait a minute. So I pushed on the prime bulb, whatever. I put True Fuel in, pump it up a few times. Perfect. No problem. I said, it's the fuel. I said, what do you use? No, I don't know. What's your mixture? I don't know. And I'm like, well, how do you expect me? I said, you want to pay me because I'll charge you $5 to turn the screw, a quarter turn. I said, I'll do that 10 times a week. That'll pay for lunch, But, just do yourself a favor. And I showed him how to measure fuel. I told him what to do. And he's still, like 20-to-1 or 30-to-1. It's like too much.
I just had a cute little, well, they're cute now, but 10 years ago we didn't like them. A 550E come in, brakes. And the lady says, I just want you to sharpen the blade. That's it.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I love those.
Because it's not cutting well, right? So even a dull blade will cut well if it's running good. So I took off the air cleaner cover and there was dirt. And you guys don't know this, right over, almost congested on the primer bulb. Like it was just jamming. I started it. It started to roll and then came up. And then I just took the air filter off and yeah. I could probably just change the air filter and take it back to her and she'd think I'd sharpened it.
Well,
that's good.
Got to give a shout out to the lady customers that we've got. Another one, 7 years since we did service on her lawnmower.
Yep.
And it needed a carb clean. And the only reason it needed a carb clean is because she didn't change her air filter. And it wasn't like bad, but I mean, it was letting dust into the carburetor and it plugged up the main jet.
Was it starting to suck in oil?
Yeah, her oil level was right on the mark. But, we're going to change the oil after 7 years. But, I mean, 7 years she ran it. If she would have just called up and said, hey, can I pick up an air filter? That thing would have still been running fine.
What was the engine? Quantum or what was it?
Quantum. Yeah, with the 3 primes and that worked fine. I was able to make sure that I used the same gaskets and it worked fine. Yeah.
I did find though lately the Chinesium filters for the Quantum, the 49088, whatever.
Yeah.
Some of them are different sizes depending on which Chinesium you buy from, and a couple of them I had weren't sealing as good. You could tell when you put the screw in if it's got the good seal or not.
Yeah.
And some of them, it went together like hardly any force. They were literally about 80 thousandths thinner, so they weren't squeezing and sealing as tight.
I've seen that.
And some of the long sins they're shorter than the GX 160 air filters. So it's
they'll let it in on that gap. Yeah.
But we put the foam
the classic one is that people take off the air filter, throw it out, and put a new one in. But the little rubber seal at the bottom that goes against gets tossed out because it sticks to the air filter, and then you're in for a world of hurt. I mean,
but you know which ones I find are the worst offenders, though? The ones shaped like a suitcase in the V-twins on the Briggs Intex.
Yeah.
I usually put a little bit of grease around those when I put them in just in case, because every one of those I find, there's all kinds of dirt going into the intake.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, the Egyptians they're trying to figure out on those Egyptian hieroglyphs what they are. They're all carrying that little bag. It's that Briggs and Stratton air
There you
filter.
go.
They're just missing the boat.
Intake V-twin. That's it.
Oh, that's funny.
I wasn't alive back then.
Oh, so Erica sold all her inventory. That's good.
So I've had 5 engines come in this week, and I got them all done. So that's the first work I've done since I got home 2 months
Just
ago.
carbs, or what was the deal?
No. God, on one of them, I actually did a leak down test on.
All over, or
right.
just mostly Briggs, or what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All Briggs and if they're not quantum. Now, this is what's happening to me. They're not quantums. They're the Briggs
Classics.
Classics. And what's happening to me now is the stuff that's coming in is really, really old because so many people are going to electrics now that there's nothing. There's not, they got either a brand new gas, a brand new electric, or they've got this stuff sitting around that's just old and neglected.
Yeah.
I had one guy, though, came by with electric one time. He said to me, it wasn't as powerful, though. Even though electric motors have a lot of power, he said it just didn't have the oomph that his gas-powered one did,
It doesn't. It doesn't have the torque.
He said he had to cut it twice a week instead of once a week because he said it would just tend to clog up on him a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, they don't have, maybe they do have the torque when I'm thinking about it, but they don't have the horsepower. It's
well, I think the inertia, the ability to keep it in motion.
Yeah, and they run slower.
Yeah.
I mean, they really do. I mean, the blade sharpness on electric, whether it being, from the outlet or from batteries, a sharp blade is even more important on an electric mower.
I did check those out at Home Depot the other day, and the electric ones, I lifted a few of them. They were razor sharp.
Yeah,
the ones that I saw, like the Egos and whatever, razors. Versus a new mower, you got a little bit of a land there.
Yeah, when I sharpen blades, I always dull them up a little tiny.
Yeah, I get a little. I just go a quick from the other side. Yeah.
But then when you have an electric mower with a razor sharp blade, it's going to dull faster. So and it's they do that. I think it's a marketing trick.
Don't be going back to gas.
It's funny, Arch is saying mass. I remember from engineering school the definition of inertia, the ability of an object to resist changes in its motion. I always remember that definition.
But you have constant power input from an electric engine. You don't have a constant input from a gas powered engine. So it sort of evens itself out.
Now the 2-strokes got way more torque.
Right.
No,
I believe.
They have way more RPMs.
More horsepower. I don't think they have more torque.
They don't have more torque. No.
Yeah. I think they have more horsepower. I mean, because they rev quicker. Better acceleration on a 2-stroke.
I've been doing this week. I've been doing I redid a wooden deck in the yard here at home, and I've been having a cutoff saw, wooden cutoff saw. I've had a skill saw, a jigsaw, and all on batteries from Skill.
And you still got all your fingers.
What?
There you go. Hello.
And they're all running slower than their equivalent wall outlet powered stuff.
Right.
Well, the
But
thing
they-
is, if you
but-
have
but they-
torque,
but
you can
they-
run
but-
slower.
But they have Kenny. They have more torque, but they all require a sharper blade, a sharper chain,
Yeah.
a sharper, because otherwise it can't utilize the torque.
Okay, look at those metal cutting saws they have now. They're very slow with the coolant and the carbide tips
Yeah.
because it's all torque. It's just.
Yeah. The same is with the metal cutoff saw. I have the Chinese one.
Mm,
It looks like a regular
cow.
wooden cutoff saw, but
11
and,
Victus.
and it's got teeth instead of
Right.
abrasive disc.
Mm,
Right.
It runs super slow.
yeah, but they're quieter and they're cleaner and no
They're
smoke
cleaner,
and all that. Yeah.
no heat, no heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how
What's
the
a
old
Victa motor? What's a Victa?
Victa's the 4 blades on it. It's Australian. It's an Australian mower company.
I never heard of it.
Oh yeah, Simone has one. Our friend Simone in the UK, she has a Victa.
It has the
Ozzy
big
got a
flywheel
channel?
underneath and 4 cutters.
Yeah, the 4 cutters, like a flail, like a brush hog. Yeah,
The
Bush
Brooklyn's
hog.
have them as well.
Aussie mower repairs got a channel?
yeah. I don't know. You got a channel? Oh, here we go. Oh, Scott's got. Here we go. Scott's asking the question. Please explain the logic of dulling a blade before use.
Who wants
Go,
to
Bruce.
answer?
Go, Bruce. Go,
I'll
Bruce.
answer.
Right. So if you've got a blade that's like as sharp as a razor blade, and you even hit a 3/4 inch, like a 20 mil piece of rock or gravel,
Yeah.
it'll put a real deep gouge in that blade.
Yeah.
But if it's just buffed off a little bit and you can feel the edge with your finger and not cut yourself, but it's just firm. If it hits that little rock, that rock will bounce. It might make a mark, but it's not going to go.
Yeah,
deep.
but I noticed, like I said, when I buy a new mower blade at the dealer, it has about 30 thousandths land on it. It's not
Yeah.
perfectly dead sharp.
That's
Yeah,
the-
yeah,
look at
you
the-
buy
look
a
at-
brand new blade and it's flat in the front.
Right.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah, there's a
it's
land on it.
like a
Yeah,
Look at-
yeah.
Look at robotic mowers. They have these little razor blades you put in, and they
Yeah.
are razor blade sharp.
Yeah.
But you need 3 or 4 sets of those per season.
Mm.
Oh,
Because you will chip the blade
They
very
will
easily
dull.
if it's
They
that
will
razor
dull. They
sharp.
will dull. Yeah, they will. I mean, they go into sand and they are gone.
Yeah.
mhm.
So yeah, you can trade power from a sharper blade, but you can't trade longevity from it.
Now, our sand blade that we sold one guy up at the lake 3 years now, and he has not been back for a blade sharpening. And every year before that, we were putting blades on his machine. So these sand blades that they're selling must work.
But
Because
they-
he's got 3
probably
years.
probably a harder metal.
Harder steel.
The same is if you buy an off-the-shelf blade compared to say a rotary blade.
Yeah.
I mean, the rotary will last twice as long. It's
Yeah,
a
but
di-
Scott,
it's a,
wait.
it's a different steel.
But Scott, seriously, you're the technician, all that stuff. Why is it whenever I buy an AYP Husqvarna blade, it's always got about a 30,000th land on it?
Yeah.
Like they intentionally sharpened it with a little bit left before they powder coated it, because usually the
The thing
powder
is-
coated.
the
I've
thing
never
is-
seen a blade at the dealer brand new that's like hanging on the wall that's razor sharp. It's always got a little bit of an edge.
but
It's
you see,
because of
the
that,
thing is- The thing is, with a rotary mower, you don't need a nice sharp edge.
No.
What you need
Yeah.
is a 90-degree edge that hits the grass. And
Hey,
and
Ralph.
you know what? It can be this high as long as it's
Yeah.
as long as it's 90 degrees, because that's what cuts off your grass.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
have to-
when you could tell if you use a real,
exactly.
there's a difference between a little bit of a land on there and a dull blade. There's a big
Yeah.
difference.
Stella has a
Well,
brand new blade.
Hold on, Stella. Let me get you. Hold on.
Look at the grass trimmer. Like they're
Yeah.
round and they're
Yeah.
65.
I mean, they're sharp, but there is a
90
land on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
but,
flat.
but the land gives you the 90 degrees that you need to
Yeah.
hit the grass with.
And that's why I like the square weed whacker line, because it has that edge.
Bruce, I've been doing ever since I saw you do it the first time.
Yeah, look at Noel. I haven't sharpened them in years.
No, but I sharpen all my blades with flap discs.
Hey, I had one of my customers had the blade upside down for 4 years.
At the end, I just go across
It works.
like I've seen on your channel.
The one way though that you can tell if the blade needs sharpening is if 2 hours later all the tips are yellowy and whitey, you know, like all that like color. It looks like your lawn's yellow.
It tears the grass.
It tears it. Yeah.
It cuts it. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
why
if it cuts good, you know, even though it's not perfectly razor sharp,
Yeah.
it won't turn yellow or white right away.
Right.
And if you
We've
use
got one customer that had his front and backyard completely sodded, and he's the only one that requests a razor sharp blade. He wants a cutting edge on the blade.
Yeah.
And then he comes back every year and he said, man, he says, my lawn never looks so good, but he's got no stones in it, not a
Right.
rock. Like, I
Wait,
mean,
you know
he's
what?
just cutting pure grass.
And the other thing is on lawn tractors, if you have dull blades without the whatever edge you put on it, it's gonna wear
They
out
both-
your belts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it may cut great, and you may be happy. It's wearing your belts out because you need more energy to pull those blades through grass when they're not sharp.
We just got a 30-inch riding mower in the Jake says the guy's cutting an acre of
Taylor.
land with, and mostly it's like just heavy weeds and everything.
Yeah.
And when we called him up and said we're putting a new blade on, he said, why? We showed him a picture of the blade. What you're talking about, a flat on it, the flat on this one was the thickness of the blade and totally just gouged up and bent every place.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
Well, how about the blades where the back edge is just worn away to nothing?
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Sand soil. Sand.
Yeah, sand and
Yeah.
there.
with
Yeah.
the lift,
Yeah.
they call that the lift.
Yeah.
They
I
call
have
it
one
the-
customer with a
I
Honda
have
mower with
no
the
lift at all.
dual blades. His grass is so beautiful. When he brings the mower to me every year, there's no grass under the deck, and the blades are like new still. He's got like no dirt whatsoever. It's just
It must be-
green. You know?
I have
Maybe
that.
wait till it's-
I have that HIX mower as well with the dual blades. It works really nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you,
Does
Dave.
a nice
Appreciate it.
job.
All donations gladly accepted. Thank you. That's a coffee.
Well, I got a check on my self-propelled snapper. I think we put that X blade on there. What do they call that blade?
Oh yeah, the Ninja Blade.
Yeah, the
Three
Ninja
slots in
blade.
it?
Yeah,
But
Ninja Blade.
slots?
Yep.
it wasn't an Amazon Ninja blade because
There's
those
a
things
couple
only-
different brands of those. Yeah.
Yeah, they only last a year. I forget where.
Oh,
Jake
really?
got this one. Yeah.
What, you can't sharpen them, or what's the deal?
No, the thing was so worn out. And
Really?
the guy said it's only a year old. I said, how old is this blade? 5-6 years? And the guy says, no, I just bought it last year on Amazon. I said, I never saw a blade wear out this fast in my life.
I mean, same thing with Amazon Chinese belts. I mean, people will wear out belts, 2 belts a season.
Hey D, are you the one that I helped? There's a couple people I helped recently. I wonder if you're one of the people I helped get a mower going.
Kenny, you help people?
No, I'm saying some people actually private text me stuff like that and ask for some help or whatever, and I do it.
I don't bill any
Awesome,
of the
Dave.
neighbors.
Awesome.
But I will bill their brother.
Yep. Yeah, me too.
Oh, don't you love that? Yeah, they drop it off. Where'd you get this? It's my brother's, or it's my so and so.
Well, they
Yeah.
don't do much of that, but
Yeah.
the kid next door loves to tramp
Yeah.
around in dumps, and he brings some pretty.
Yeah, I had one of my neighbors, and he said, I fixed a tractor for his brother. I drove up to his house in town and brought the mower back, fixed it. It was cutting uneven, so it was leaving the center strip of grass. And Hank and I were talking about this yesterday. What were you saying, Hank? Razor lower? What were you talking about? The 1/4 inch lower in the front?
Yeah, 1/4 inch lower in the front.
1/4 inch lower.
1/4 inch
than
lower. He had it raised way the high up, so it was leaving the mohawk in the middle. So I fixed that. I did everything else, and I think I charged him like $210 for everything, full tune-up, everything. Pick up and delivered. I haven't seen him since then. Someone told me he was bitching because I charged too much. I'm like, excuse me? A Husqvarna V-twin Cowie, 54-inch deck, sharpened blades, full tune-up, full fluid change, pick up and delivered, $210, and he's bitching. Yeah, tell me about it. I know.
I'll tell you what,
I know.
next time he comes by,
So
send him to the dealer.
So that must be a 3-blade then. If the back,
it's a 3-blade, 54 deck, 3-blade.
Yeah, it's going to scalp.
But we were talking about that yesterday with Hank, because this snapper I have now, this 200Z 0-turn 20-horse Briggs, it's at a weird angle, so it doesn't really cut at all, to be honest with you. But I think what's happening is the electric lift, the linkage is messed up in this thing. It's actually cocked like left to right. You know, but it's only a 42, so it's only a 2-blade deck.
Right.
You know,
I have this guy that comes in, and he doesn't come in every year. He comes in whenever there are issues, just like. And one year I did a full service on his machine, and I charge about $10 to sharpen the blade when it's part of a service.
Yeah.
But I charge $20 when it's just the sharpening.
See, to me, though, excuse me one second, though. When you say $20 a blade, most blades that I put on are $20.
Yeah.
No,
So when you
no,
just
here-
put on, a 20,
Here they're a little more expensive.
okay, because I was going to say, like an MTD blade here is about $17, you know, from the dealer. So you know, you pay $17, you charge $20, you make a few bucks, whatever. But it's
here they're about $40 a blade.
wow. Okay,
But
all right, that I can see.
I mean, the thing is, the guy saw what I charged when it was part of a service.
Yeah.
Then he came back the next year. Oh, can you sharpen my blades? I said, sure. There was 2 blades on it. I sharpened them, gave him the bill, and says, isn't that a little more than last year? I said, yes. But last year, I did a full service. I took your deck off. Once the deck is off.
Oh yeah, no, it's easy. Yeah.
It's easier. Now I have to hoist up your thing and get underneath it and and ta-da. So it's more.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got to pay for that new lift.
No, but I mean,
used
if you go to the dealership, they'll replace the
for
blade
sure.
and charge them for new blades.
I put all my stuff up $20, like whether it's a tune-up or
We used
everything's
to
up $20 this year.
we used to put the blade sharpening on the invoice as a separate cost, but Jake said, you know what, just put it in, write down that it's done, and then we just boost up the labor end of it
Yeah.
Right.
to cover that.
You know, I saw shop supplies on an invoice once.
Oh, good
And I
deal.
thought that's a good idea. And then I tried it and it just didn't feel right. So I would just rather put the tune up to $80 or $60, depending on what it is. And then you don't have customers going, I'm paying for your rags, you know.
Well, no. I forgot. I would forget to charge for that stuff.
Yeah.
The expendable stuff, I would forget to charge.
Guys, I charge $5 for a push mower.
Shop supplies, right?
Yeah, and $10 for a riding mower.
Yeah.
You
Jake
pay
started
for it when you
putting
get your
in-
car fixed.
Oh, yeah.
What's a can of carb spray?
I know, $5-6, right?
Well,
Yeah.
they're $8 here.
But even shop rags, I would buy the 8 box of like the Scott box towels. That's $120 for 8 boxes.
You know,
It
they
ain't
used to
cheap.
be $2 a bunch, like $2 a roll.
Yeah.
Now they're $3 a roll.
Yep. But I would buy the big yellow and white and red box of Scott towel, you know, with the 250 count or whatever. But you get a crate with a box with 8 of them in there. All right. And it's about $120. It used to be $99.
Same thing. If anything goes in my ultrasonic cleaner, that's $20.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Jake started putting $4 down for shop supplies, and we got $2 for oil fuel,
disposal.
oil filter disposal fee.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's
Now,
$6 extra that we didn't have.
I
And
use
if we do
these.
1,000 pieces, that's $6,000.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
What's
There
that
you
stuff?
And I
They're real.
run them through the washer with Pine Sol.
Yeah, me too.
Your washer or the laundromat?
You remind me of that
No, my
the
washer.
guy on my Greek wedding, the
Cleans it just
Windex.
fine.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she
he used
also
Windex
cleans
for-
carburetors in there too, Ken.
Yeah.
No,
Stella,
it's
if I tell
rusty
my-
tanks. Come on, Hank. It's rusty gas.
Stella, if I
No, that's
tell
a dryer.
my wife
That's
we
a
want
dryer.
to wash anything from the shop in her washing machine, I got to find a new place to live.
Right. Hey, Stella, real
Man,
quick. How's
just
Stella?
don't
How's the
tell
chop?
her.
How's
Don't-
Stella? Smile, honey, smile. That's it. There we go. Oh, okay, no worries. Hey,
I gotta follow-
question, Stella, you still doing any of the theater stuff or no? Stella,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm having a ball.
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about you the other day. We had a trolley in one of the local towns, and I was like, I have a friend who drives the Raleigh trolley.
The Raleigh trolley.
Yeah. It was cool, though, because it looked just like, I know, but it was cool. It was definitely cool.
And she's very jolly.
I am jolly.
I know.
I'm going to
That's
be
why I said
driving
it.
tonight.
Oh, another
With
trip
a
or what?
jolly bunch of.
No.
I'm not sure what I'm driving tonight. Last time it was when I drove around this group of people. It was I dressed up as Princess Leia, and
Oh,
I
get
thought I
out.
did pretty good.
Earmuffs and all?
Yeah, it was cinnamon buns, but yeah, I have no idea what tonight's theme is. So we'll figure it out when we get there. I don't know.
Oh, Thomas, clean up.
You want to see the linkage picture on that carburetor for that?
Oh, you got it?
Yeah,
You got
right
it?
here.
Hold on. Yeah, that is a little complicated.
Nice.
Oh, almost looks like the Kohlers, the XTs.
So I said to the guy, did you have to take the stud out to get the linkage apart? And he said no. And I said, well, how'd you do it?
Yeah, how'd you do it?
That short little link, you can't get out of there unless you rotate that. Unless you rotate that carburetor.
Unless he bent it.
Yeah, he bent. Well,
Yeah.
I haven't. I got it started just before I came in on the live stream, so I don't know what the RPM. Just as long as it fired, I was happy.
It says 3,600 in the shop manual.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but right on. Okay, so on the top of the engine, I don't know if I got a picture of that. It says that the torque was measured at 2,500 RPM.
Yeah, because the torque peak will always be less than max RPM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But normally I thought they measured the torque at 3,600 on.
No. It depends. It depends on the SAE spec. You know.
That big spring on that governor, that's not right.
No, that's an extension spring. I know. I got to change that spring.
That thing is huge.
Yeah.
That's the wrong spring.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that'll make it tack out like crazy.
Might as well be a bar.
Yeah.
TGM says looks like a Lanson.
Hey there, Finn. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, bye, Thomas. Go clean up the oil.
Here, Finn.
Yeah, Noel's got mostly direct drives on his, or the case, which is a pure hydraulic hydrostatic tractor.
Here's the picture of what that governor spring's supposed to be. This was another machine that we got in, and it was weird. We got it. Can you see the spring, the governor spring?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the right spring.
Man, stuff like that is just like crazy.
On the other one, somebody put a heavy duty
and they
extension
expect you to
spring
fix
on
that
it.
kind of stuff.
Well, then half the time they don't tell you what they did.
No.
Well, they got this thing. We found out after the fact that somebody passed away and they got it for free. And so we said, well, what was it doing? And they said, oh, I don't know. I loaned it to my neighbor, and when I got it back, I couldn't get it to run. So I said, well, if you would have brought it here first, we would have done a lot of things to tell us what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a shot of carb cleaner tells me a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, that's the same thing when people bring in chainsaws.
So anyways,
The chainsaw doesn't run. I replaced the spark plug and the air filter. And thank you very much. Now I don't know where to start.
well, Jake's happy now. We're charging $50 deposit fee on all two-stroke equipment that comes in.
Good idea.
And he says we're getting rid of a lot of the riffraff that don't want to spend any money.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
okay, you can drop it off, but it's $50 up front. And they said, for what? We said, for the work we're going to do to tell you it's no good, or to say it's repairable, and that'll go towards the cost.
I like that.
Yep.
And then we said, if we only spend 15 minutes to tell you it's no good, we'll give you half of the 50 back.
Yeah.
That's
That's fair. That's fair.
Hey, Ian.
Well, some people think we're nuts. Now,
You're
one
not.
guy just
You're probably nuts, but it's still a good idea.
well, Kenny's nuts because he's not charging enough. Because Jake
You're
just
back.
charged the guy for a riding mower $400 and some odd dollars.
Right.
Changed out, I think, 3 idler pulleys on the deck and up on the underneath the engine because they were winding out. And I don't even think we did a full service on that. Whatever he did, it was $400 and some odd bucks. He delivered it, so there's I think he was out of town, so it was 65 delivery.
Wow.
Let's say it's $4.25 bill.
Hmm.
You know, Jake figured, oh, geez, I wonder if the guy's going to be happy. The guy gave him $100 tip.
Wow. Isn't it funny though where you get the tips from? It's funny.
Blows me away.
Mm.
As long as IRS didn't see this video, I'm okay because we don't claim tips.
Yeah.
Well, if you have cash, you need ID.
Well, they say we'll pay cash. And I say, yeah, you pay cash, but you still pay the HST. No, if I pay
That's
you
right.
cash, I don't pay the HST. I says, here you pay the HST. One way or the other, you're paying the HST.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we've got an HST registration number. We write it off. We got to charge it.
Rubber safe. Oh, you know what? I remember those years and years ago. Remember those safety blades they had years ago, like the hard
Yeah.
plastic rubber stuff? I remember those.
Yeah,
But
man,
you know
same
what?
thing.
Sharp enough, you would still get cut pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
the same thing with the.
Yeah.
Remember I was talking about the other day about the trimmers or brush cutters that use a piece of hydraulic line, as you know, that way you can attach it to the center of it, and it
Mm.
goes,
Wow.
and it'll go up against rocks and stones and stuff without getting chipped.
Well, I
But
just
it
saw
will-
a video. A guy made lawnmower blades for riding mowers that are that take the heavy duty trimmer line.
Yeah, but
He's
why
selling
not?
them. He's made all the adapters for all the different machines, and he put them on, and it looks like it's doing a fantastic job of
But
cutting
you'll never
grass.
get an edge like you do with a metal blade.
Yeah, and it's cheap,
Well,
Yeah.
and you can't damage if you hit something.
but I
it's
mean,
not going to damage your spindles
if you
or
see some of
anything.
the brush cutters that are on wheels, they have this disc with
Yeah.
strings
Yeah.
out there. It's the same thing. It
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll make just as nice cut as a metal
Yeah.
blade, but it'll do taller grass for sure.
You guys ever seen this guy? Cutlass? It's like he takes a single blade and turns into a Victa 4-blade.
No,
It's called Cutlass. Cutlass. I thought it said cut less. Hold on. Where is it? Let me see. Yeah, you can see. It's got just like a Victa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cutlass. Cutlass.
Hmm.
But I don't know. To me, though, all that extra, the centrifugal force and all that stuff, it seemed like it would rob power.
but
Yeah.
but the swivel thing is good.
That's the car I drove in high school.
What's that?
Now, I don't know if it would work on.
Oh, Cutlass. Yeah, the Cutlass Supreme.
Depends what his
That's
adapter
where I
is
drove in
on that blade for a push mower. If it'll work on a push mower, because you need the blade for the torque to get it to fire.
Wayne, TGM's asking what shape is the valve cover on that engine?
I don't know if I got it. It's kind of weird. It's a weird shape.
Hmm.
I don't know if I
Because
got
some of the
picture
newer
of
ones
that.
are like, triangular almost.
Trapezoids.
Go see Mick's
Hmm.
video from his last video on the lawnmower. It's in there. It's the same engine.
Whose channel?
Mick.
Oh.
I think he's
Oh,
the
the one he
new-
did for was Celebrity. What's his name?
Yeah, Jeremy
I
Clarkson.
don't
Clarkson.
have a
Yeah,
pic-
Clarkson. Yeah.
Don't have a picture of the valve cover. I got a picture from the front of the engine. You might be able to see it's
Blow up.
not like a hot. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is that weird? Yeah,
It's
I've seen
kinda
it with
like-
like a half a
big on-
cover.
Yeah, it's kind of like oblong.
Yeah,
Kind of like I don't know.
Hmm.
almost like an eyebrow. Yeah.
Yeah, something like an eyebrow, right, Kenny?
Mm.
Good analogy.
Yeah. Yeah, sort of like a flail mower, Jim. Pretty much like a brush hog or something. Yeah. Well, a flail is this way. A brush hog and bush hog are this way. A
They
flail is
horizontally
that way.
flail.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Arch.
Yeah. Archie got rid of his cutlass.
Yeah, he had a cutlass.
Yeah. Nice.
Hmm.
Mm.
And actually, that cover, I like it. It's got a rubber gasket and it has 5 bolts holding it on.
Huh.
So it's got that offset on the one side, drops down on the exhaust side.
That's loud, Hank.
Yeah. Those are loud snacks, Hank. What are you having?
Pretzels.
sun chips,
Sun chips.
or as they
Oh,
call them
those-
in the UK, crisps.
Those are the healthy ones.
Yeah, they're good for you. You know why?
Yeah, they're healthy if you don't eat the whole damn bag.
Yeah, they're good for you because they make you smile.
I'm on Italian almond cookies.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Wow.
They are good. They are good.
They go better with coffee than they do with beer, Coase.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh. No, everything is good with beer. Simple as that.
Mick's head. See you, Mick.
See you, Mick.
You make
Arch is an AC technician certified to do air
I don't know. Is he doing cars or homes, or what are you
I
doing,
don't know.
Arch? Is that for cars, you said, Arch?
Arch.
Comment.
yeah. There's the Formula One is on. I actually have to go pee in a second. Just to-
Why were they racing today?
in Canada.
Oh,
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 yeah.
Montreal.
Mhm.
Oh, I was there long time ago when they had an alcohol strike on. I had to smuggle in vodka.
They used flathead Model Ts back then.
Not
I
that
don't-
long ago, Bruce.
I don't think a 1.6 liter engine with 6 cylinders that puts out about 1,000 horsepower
Would go,
is
yeah,
a flathead.
would go 245 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
they
so
actually
fast.
fly. They actually have downward pressure when they're going that fast. I don't
Yeah.
know exactly how fast.
When the
It would be
machine
really cool if they built a track as they stayed down with the downward pressure and a track that inverted them, and they still had upward pressure with the wheels on the,
Oh, yeah.
top of the track,
Oh yeah.
and then bring it back down. I bet you they'd stay down if it
Pre-
was
pre-
long enough.
pressure on the ground, the weight
Yeah.
of the car at standstill is 650 kilos.
Yeah,
When it's doing 100 miles an hour, the pressure on the ground is 2,500 kilos.
right.
So it can actually go on the roof of a tube.
I would believe it.
Yeah.
That would be
That-
fun to see. It would not be a fun race to go to.
I had a flat tire on my 71 Camaro.
Oh,
I was doing 112 miles an hour. I didn't know it was flat until I started to slow down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you weren't touching the ground, Hank.
That,
Jake put a new anti-theft device on his 67 Mustang.
A clutch.
No, pop-off steering wheel.
Oh,
I don't know. My first car, I had a vice grip on there.
Yeah. No, this thing won't have anything that you could put anything on. When this thing comes off, it's just the adapter that stays on. You
yeah.
can't access anything to steer it. So it ain't going anyplace unless you bring your own steering wheel.
wow.
But I'm just going to go check the TV. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I had a 68, Hank.
What's that?
I had a 68 Camaro.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Wish
Yeah,
it
but-
still had it, eh?
But the 68 didn't have the vent windows. I like the vent windows.
And it didn't have the hideaway lights either.
Mm. Yeah, the RSSS option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad had the RS with the hideaway lights, and I had the 68 with the double home head.
But they still had the cowl vents, so your feet were always nice and cold.
Yeah, 67 was the first one made, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the vent windows.
And
Yeah.
mine had the
I will say
327 engine with the big intake valves.
back in the early 90s, my roommate, when I lived in California, he had an 89 IROC C28, I think it was.
IROC. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That thing would smoke a Ford 5.0, no problem in the straight. You don't want to take it into corners.
No, they
No.
never did. Ford always beat the Chevys with their steering. They did.
Yeah.
Gotta go, gang. I got people coming to pick up parts.
See you, Wayne.
Take care, Wayne.
I never shut her down. Take care.
Take care, Wayne.
Yeah, you don't want. I mean, you go from light to light in Las Vegas. Yeah, it'll smoke a Ford, but if there's a corner, not so much.
Oh, I was a bad kid. I used to go downtown Calgary and race every Friday night.
Yeah.
And from light to light, because the lights were synchronized, and you were at the next light before you even realized it.
Yeah.
I was.
Brett.
My father won the champion rally driver for Alberta for 1966.
Yeah. Brett, you can't come in because you're late. Unless you have a permission slip, you can't. I mean, you're late for class.
He used the family car because it wasn't about speed; it's about accuracy, right?
Yeah. I will say though, a V8 does have a sweet sound to it. It really does. And we don't.
I just think they're balanced because of the
They are
the four-stroke, and
Yep.
you know, so the 4s and the 8s are smoother than the 6s.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. BMW does make a sweet 6-cylinder diesel. I mean, the torque coming out of those things is amazing.
I've never driven one.
You should
I've
try.
driven lots of BMWs, but it was back in the early 70s when I was a valet at a steakhouse.
Oh, yeah. No, but I mean a 5 Series or something like that with a inline 6 diesel.
Yeah, right.
I mean that thing pulls like a truck.
Right.
It's yeah, man. And it's turbocharged, so there's tons of torque in it. But a V8 does have that lazy sound. That's
What's that? A 747, Jim?
Yeah, really. 600 miles per
600
hour.
miles. Oh, that's enough. Yeah. You know, when you fly, it blows me away. Like in a jet, regular passenger jet, you're going through 75% of the speed of sound. Think about that. And you're 6 miles above the earth. You know, they're 38,000 feet close-ish.
And all you have
sitting
going
there,
for
you know, if you got good seats and you paid for your good seats, you're having a glass of wine and a garlic chicken, and going 3/4 of the speed of sound, 6 miles above the earth. Wow.
and all it needs is a little kerosene.
I'll come up to lunch.
Lunch. Yeah, it is.
He heard that dinner bell and he went running.
Oh, yeah.
Brett, you're late. Where's your permission slip?
I just asked you. I said, does fixing small engines classify as an excuse?
No.
Well, it should.
No. I'm just messing. No, it's
No,
fine.
I just got home from work. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, that is an excuse.
I had an interesting one today. Well, actually, it's been kind of plaguing me over the week here. Somebody gave me a Cub Cadet CC 500. That's got the 139cc, some kind of Chonda on it. And I mean, they tried to fix it themselves. They said they put a new carburetor on it. I get into it and see that they didn't. I got that all corrected. Got it to start and run, but until it warmed up, it was kind of acting like intermittent spark. Then it would warm up, it would just pick up and run good. Changed the plug. That worked out. And, you know, my boss is thinking, well, that's got to be carburetor doing it. I'm like, no, because when it's doing it, it's not hunting. It's not starving. It's kind of like spark was cutting in and out. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Those engines that had the metal cased spark plug boot, didn't those have a resistor in the spark plug boot?
Some
I
do.
don't know. I have a bunch of spark plug boots for my scooters, and some have resistors in them and some don't.
Right.
And they all have plastic or Bakelite or whatever they use. They don't have any metal things.
Yeah, usually the Honda or Honda clones have them. Yeah.
I don't
This
know.
is the one that's got like tin coating on the outside of it.
No,
Over the rubber. It's a real long.
That's just to be able to pull it out.
To pull it out, yeah.
Oh, anyway, I tried to start it yesterday, and it did that. And I said something to the boss before I left work. I said, tomorrow morning, first thing I come in, I said, I want those spark tester on that. Now, I can't pull it and watch it. You know, he's got the better eyes. So I put it on there, and I pulled it. It was doing you know, And I said, okay, what's it doing? He said, and then he goes, when it's running, he said, you're getting steady spark. But he said, when it's doing that putting, he said, it's flickering. He says that the flickering was corresponding with each time it was putting. And I'm like, okay, well but he'd never heard of a coil doing that when it's cold, just when it would start getting hot. Well, fortunate for me, I had another one back there off of one of them that was blown up. I switched it out, problem solved.
I would say that
Yes.
it wasn't attached to it good enough, or the spring inside the boot was off of it.
That's
It
why you
wasn't-
need one of these.
No, there was no spring in this boot.
Okay.
The boot actually threads on to the end of the plug wire.
Right, but on the spark plug itself has a spring, right?
No, it's a solid terminal. It looks like there's some kind of resistor or something in it because the boot's heavy.
You know, like the Honda one that's all injection molded or whatever. Sometimes it has that screw in, looks like an insert that
Right.
gets screwed in, and then there's a resistor behind it, spring loaded.
Well, anyway, I had a whole nother coil there off one of those same engines that had been, can't remember whether it was blown up or whether it was bent shaft. It was something, obviously I parted out because it wasn't feasible to try to get it running. And I switched the coils out, and that solved the problem. I wish I'd have known that right from the get-go. Well, live and learn, I guess.
Well, but I mean, swapping out an engine coil is like usually not one of the first things any of us think of.
No, because I mean, my boss was thinking it was, running lean. I'm like, I could tell just by the way it was doing it. It wasn't a lean thing. It was like intermittent spark. Like
A
when you
spark
get
thing.
like when you get a kill wire that might be bare and it's like bouncing off of metal from vibration, that kind of deal. Well, I checked that kill wire out. It was fine. Changed that coil, solved the problem.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. You guys, Steve and Scott are saying noise suppression. That's fine, but noise suppression for what, though?
RF.
But for what? For ignition interference or for what?
The metal, I don't think, has anything to do with the RF.
Well, no, it'll block bleed over, that kind of stuff. But the thing is, usually, remember on the old cars, you always had that stuff because of the radio interference and all that stuff.
Yeah, because the alternator would produce
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know.
in your radio.
Can I change the subject just a little bit?
Well, you want to talk small engines?
Almost.
I want to talk about oil.
Shut up, Brett. Shut up, Stella. No, I went. I went on.
Klaus. Nice to meet you.
I went on a thing with Anita today, and we went into this posh gallery that had all kinds of things. Stella, guess a furniture.
What is it? Hold on.
Got to make him bigger.
Yeah.
Don't we hear that all the time?
That's right.
That's where she's
Sewing machine.
That is very hard to determine what that is.
That is the rear end of a scooter turned into a table with 3 drawers or 2 drawers.
Oh, I see. Because there's the spare tire holder. I see. Yeah. Okay, I see that now. And that's the side panel. Okay, it took me a sec to realize because the thing in the front looked like a seat. But no, that's kind of nice.
Yeah. No, but it's. I saw it and I kind of like that's crappy. I went, hold on, I know.
No, wait a minute. Yeah.
Who may want to see it?
But that's kind of cool.
It is. I mean, if you got a crapped out scooter, you might as well make a furniture. Yeah.
Furniture or yard art, a planter.
Yeah.
A charcoal pit. You can do lots of things with those.
well.
Nice.
At least it's getting repurposed for something other than
Blow me down, Kenny.
place in a
Thank you.
landfill. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and that thing, it had a sticker on it. It said sold. So somebody came by and said, I need that. Nice. Yeah, nice.
I like that.
They sell it over here at Bob's Furniture. $299.
Yeah.
That's right
For
over
a
there.
table, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a scooter, and I immediately got thinking of you, Stella. So.
Oh, here you go, Stella. Hold on. This one you'll love.
Uh-oh.
This. Oh, come on. Give me a good picture.
Where's Carmi at today, Stella?
Oh, she's happily in the house somewhere.
She's happily not camping.
She's
go.
happily not camping.
There's the front end.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not
Yeah.
getting caught between the underside of the gas pedal and the floor of the vehicle this time, right?
No, she fits there just fine.
Yeah, imagine you hit the gas.
Hey, Stella, when you go to step on the gas, not knowing her head's it's like that didn't sound like a vehicle.
No, she rests her head on the pedal, and then the rest of her body is behind the brake pedal. So she fits just fine under there.
Oh well, her head's heavy enough to push.
Well,
up.
it's a Mercedes. There's room for everybody in the Mercedes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So whenever you talk to her, you want to go take a ride in the Mercedes, or do you say the van?
Nope. I just say, guess where we're going, and she's like,
Ew.
Then the only response you get is meow.
yeah.
Yes,
Well, I got
now.
to figure out something to do with the window controls, because I can't turn those off, and so she can walk across like the armrest on the side of the where you rest your arm. She can roll down the windows if I'm not paying attention. So I got to figure out something there.
Can you control them from your side, from the passenger side? I'm sorry, from the driver's side? No?
I just have two buttons on the driver's side, and obviously there's one on the passenger side. So I can control them. But, by the time I realize she's rolled down the window, I'm like, holy schmoly. And there's that moment of time where your brain doesn't connect the dots. And by that time, some disaster could have happened. So I got to figure out.
The thing is, when Mercedes did all those things with their camper vans, they were all based on vans.
Cargo van.
For contractors and work and package delivery and all that stuff.
Yep.
There was never any thoughts about having kids or cats in the car. So they don't have all those features where you can lock it out and you can do this and airbag off and all that.
Well, I think I'm just going to take in some old, credit cards and, put a slit on them or a piece of Velcro or something on, and then I'll have to lift up the credit card to turn it open the window.
You mean make like a shield?
Or do as Hank says, just pull the cord.
Yeah, pull the plug. That side don't work. And
But then, sometimes when you're on the driver's side, you kind of want to take down both windows.
Well, I'm sure that it's got 3 wires or something, so you can operate it or they can operate it. There's got to be one wire that you could unplug. That one won't work on the passenger side.
Makes
but
sense.
You can still control it on your driver's side.
Well, I have these inserts that go in the window, which are like louvered and have bug screen on them to allow airflow. But the problem is Mercedes, in their infinite wisdom, has this anti-pinch your finger thing. So, if it hits it, it goes right back down. So it's this crazy little dance of like trying to get it just before it locks in. And then, of course, I discovered the hard way. Well, it wasn't the hard way; it's the stupid way. But man, what is that noise in here? And I went to check the window, and I realized that thing just went boom right out on the freeway. So I had to go to the next exit, turn around. I found it. It was nobody had hit it yet. That's good. But yeah, I got to figure out how to protect those things.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like the thing you have on your garage door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't squish a kid.
Basically like a little safety cover on it. You got to lift it up and
Yeah, Jim. No child lock because it's a van. It's for adults.
Yeah, it's van.
Work,
it's a work van.
Not supposed to have kids in the work van. So,
or cats.
At least not
Or
over
cats.
here. Or cats.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Charlie just heard all of us over here. He had to come get in on the action.
Yes. Well, there's
No, he can't participate. Well, he's a cat. Number 2, he doesn't work on small engines. So there you go.
Well, the thing is you have to realize that, you're talking to people and there's no one else in the room, so clearly you must be talking to him. You know,
Right.
I mean,
He's
think
with his head
think
on.
like a cat. Think like your brain is this big.
Yeah, and
I've
all
been
it does
told
is
that a few times.
all it does is on or off. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, cats are like, you know, they hear blah, 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 food, blah, 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 frog, blah, 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 vet, I'm out of here.
Yes.
Sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to fight with him. Ugh. I got to take him in at the end of this month because he has to have his annual blood work to see if he'll get cleared so I can keep getting the steroids. And this time the vet says, I'm going to give you this stuff to give him about an hour or two before the appointment.
Why are you giving him
Liquid. I
steroids?
got to try to get him to eat, put it in his canned food, 6 milliliters worth of this.
Brett, why do you give him steroids?
Because he has lymphoma.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
If
Yeah.
he doesn't take them, he
Yeah.
loses weight and he's crap and diarrhea everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
fair
had
enough.
a cat like that. I lost a cat to lymphoma. It was no fun.
Yeah.
No,
I have my cats vaccinated every year so they don't get that.
I think we're talking about something else, Klaus. I don't think you can get a vaccine for lymphoma.
no,
Okay.
because lymphoma is like a cancer.
Ah,
Yes.
okay, fair
But
enough.
it does,
Yeah,
but
sorry.
it does not show up in a scan like a lump.
Right.
No,
Right.
Yeah.
It's in your lymph nodes.
Yeah, it's your lymph system.
okay, fair enough.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
I didn't know about that.
you know,
Uh,
knock on
no.
wood.
I mean, when my
Stuff
when my
that-
vet says words like he has to go into dialysis or he has to get this, he gets that, I said no, thank you. I'll get a new cat. I mean, honestly, it's
And and that's you got to do what you do.
If-
Depends on
if
the
a-
age.
if-
And if they've had a great life,
yeah. If a cat can't be a cat, I'm not having it.
yep.
We,
I hear
our
you,
dog,
man.
yeah, we had a golden retriever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
she got-
we had the old one. I'm sorry, the old one. He was 15 years, and when I got into the vet, because he would having problems, he would be standing and all of a sudden peeing,
Mhm.
Right.
which he'd never done. Took him
Right.
to the vet, and
Well,
she
you
said,
see, that's what happened.
and the vet said, you know what, Klaus, it's a 15-year-old cat. He's had a good life. I can see that. He's not underweight.
He's had
It's
a
his
good
time.
run. Yep.
It's his time. Vet had to watch a grown man cry, and then I had him put down.
But
it's
that's the best gift you could have given to that cat, to not make him suffer. We
Yes.
can't do that for us.
no,
Well,
we can't.
my dad,
No, unfortunately.
my dad had MAID, MAID, which is the medical assistance in death. He did that all on his own.
Yeah.
I don't think it exists in the States, but you can do it up here.
Well, yeah.
There was stink about that here. What?
I mean, I have a
probably
mom and
25, 30 years ago. That what was that doctor? Oh, they.
I don't know.
Kevorkian. Dr.
Dr.
Kevorkian.
Kevorkian.
Kevorkian. Oh yeah, Kevorkian.
Yeah.
Dr. Death.
Yep.
He helped a lot of people.
He run into some mess over that for.
Yeah, he did, but
I mean,
So,
I have a mom in a home.
I know.
She doesn't recognize me. I mean, sometimes if you're lucky, you get a smile out of her. And
Right.
she's a zombie. Alzheimer dementia. She's a zombie.
Yep.
I know all about that. I lost my mom.
You lose him twice. And
Mhm.
Right.
I'm thinking, like, why?
Right.
Nobody's happy. Why?
So, okay,
Well,
I got to talk about our golden retriever. She had a lump on her chest. We took her in, and he said, well, I can do a biopsy. And we said, oh, fine. When can we do that? Oh, right now. Oh, so he took a biopsy, went into the lab that he had in the back, and came back and said, yes, your dog has an aggressive form of lung cancer. We can send her to Calgary, and we can put her on radiation and chemo and all this stuff, right? He said, so I can just cut that lump out right now, and she'll have another 6 months of painless life. And then, so I said to him, I said, do you work on Homo sapiens?
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Because it was all done in one day. And Fergie got another. Her name was Fergie, and she got another 9 months of good quality life. And then she started to, whine as she was going down the stairs again or whatever. And we just agreed and done.
Well, I'll tell you.
I mean, it's an animal. You have a responsibility to it. I mean, if it can't be the animal it's supposed to be,
right?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
a lot of people are
right
finding
now.
that they can't afford the veterinarian anymore.
Well,
They're
then-
like at least around here. They're tying their animals on trees and abandoning them.
if I can't afford
Yeah,
the
that's
vet,
messed up.
I can afford a shotgun shell.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean that's the most humane thing to do, and it's the same thing. We've had a couple of feral cats that's been around, over the years, and
Terrorists.
yeah,
think they are.
yeah, a little bit, but I mean, if they start look like they're sick or they're like, I have a couple of friends with shotguns, and
Yeah.
they come over and it goes, and the problem is, I mean, you can't have a feral cat. You can't approach a feral cat. You can't take it to the vet. You can't help
No.
it. But if it's struggling, if it's got cat AIDS or cat flu or whatever they call it, shotgun
Yeah.
shell. I mean,
Well,
that's
good, but see, that can't happen
In the
where
city.
I am because I'm in the municipality with city limits. So, that's the bad
here,
part.
here,
So,
here, a licensed hunter can put down a small animal.
But inside the city or town limits,
Oh yeah.
you can't discharge a firearm in the city here.
Oh, you can hear. All you have to make sure that they got all these rules that the pellets can only go into. What the hell is that sound?
Clam chowder.
Clam chowder.
You may want to take the mic a bit away from your chin. That's good too.
I don't know. It's like
No,
somebody
no,
trying to.
they can
No,
do
it's
it here.
it's the oyster crackers at the top.
Yeah.
They can put down an animal if it's in pain. You can get a hunter to do that. That's no problem.
I'd get
And
arrested.
it's not. It is a firearm, but it's a hunting firearm.
right.
Well, yeah, I go hunting all the time, and I've got a gun that is lethal at 300 yards, and I've got other guns that are only go 50.
The 51s are preferred inside the city limit sign. It's a shotgun.
Yeah.
But you can do that. I mean, same thing with rats. If you have rats, you can take pellet guns and take them out. It's no problem.
Get out the old, what is it, the Daisy Pump Master Red Rider, and just.
Yeah. Watch out! You put your eye out with that thing.
Oh yeah, that what was that called? A Christmas Story? or
Christmas
something?
Story.
Christmas story.
Put your eye out, kid.
I've got a 500 repeating rifle BB gun. It's a Daisy, but not a Red Rider.
When I was a kid, my brother and I had an air rifle. One of those you crack
it?
Yeah, and
pellet.
And he had a pellet pistol where you crack it and put a pellet in. And that thing was so Chinese it wasn't even funny. But when you shot it, you could see the pellet go in and out.
Yeah, my BB gun does that now, but it's 65 years old.
And my brother, he kept saying, this is a good pistol. I said, it's not a good pistol. It's crap. You can see the pellet.
You had them where
Come
you
on.
pump it up.
Oh well, there's
No,
also
no, you can't pump it. It was
It
just
was
a
one
one,
pump shot.
and then it clicked, and then it doesn't matter. And we decided one day in our infinite wisdom to test if it was good, that pistol. So we loaded it, and I shot it into my brother's leg, and apparently that hurts.
Yeah, I did that to my sister too.
Did he come up and want to hit you with a ball bat after
my
At
mom-
every
my
family
mom was-
event, she gets up and reminds me that I did this
Yeah.
at the age of 10.
Yeah, I mean, my mom. I mean, I've never seen her so angry.
Bruce, you have to go to the next family event with that gun.
I should, And but anyway, she was pretty smart. She fell down to the ground and pretended she was blind and put up a heck of a fuss.
Yeah.
I got hit so bad.
I'll tell you.
My grandfather was a game warden, right? Like the guy
Yeah.
that gives you the ticket for shooting a moose in a opens.
I'll
it
tell you
down.
what hurts: have somebody shoot you point blank range in the side of the leg with a paintball gun.
Yeah, that would probably do it.
That leaves a welt.
Then you don't want to go paintballing with me.
Can I change the subject here to a small engine?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, no, hold on. Kenny, is that allowed here?
We'll have to change the panel though.
Yeah, we do.
So, okay, my wife saw a lawnmower at the end of in the alley on the end of the cul-de-sac next to us. And it sat there for a week, and she talked about it. So finally, 2 days ago, I went over and got it, bring it home. It's a Murray Briggs and Stratton Classic.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was abandoned, and the spark plug was out of it, and it was empty of oil, and it was just sitting there. So I brought it home and put a plug in it and primed it with a bit of carb spray, like Wayne said. And so I thought, okay, I'm on the beginning. So I put some used oil in it and started measuring stuff with my compression tester and the bypass. What do you call that? The cylinder bypass check.
Leak down. Yeah.
Yeah, leak down test. And it wouldn't leak down at 100 pounds. It was holding air. And then, so I put the compression gauge on it, and I got a little drill that can take them just past the decompression, so you can actually read the real compression. And I got 100. It goes up. You can see it's fighting at 70, and all of a sudden, bing, it bumps right up to 127, 100. That little engine's got 127 psi of compression.
Wonder why they abandoned it then.
Because I bet you it was stolen, and they probably had a hard time getting it going because the carb was plugged, you know. Yeah. And but I had a hard time getting a carburetor to work on it, and I kept thinking, "What am I doing?" So I did that first, and then I did the compression test and the leak back test, and then I started playing with carburetors, and I had 2 carburetors in my Horde that it would just surge. So I thought, okay, I'm going to put a secondary paper diaphragm, not the rubber part that goes right on the tank, but the secondary, the paper
gasket.
The gasket. Thank you very much. And it started getting better. So I checked all my tanks to see which one looked the flattest on the aluminum flat part. And I got him. It's running at 3,100 RPMs with 1 pull start.
Yeah, nice.
Got it for nothing.
I have another question. It's off of Bruce's. And on a Honda, if you got a surging engine, it's always the idle circuit, right? You take the little plastic
rubber thing out
there, and clean that. On a Quantum or a Classic, I've never found an idle circuit.
And a Classic, no.
They're still fun.
No, but the Quantum, it's kind of buried deep within it.
Deep within it, there's nothing in it.
But I mean, there's no
passages, nothing on a Quantum carburetor. You got the main jet. That's it.
The bowl nut.
Yeah. There's nothing else in there. There are no passages. There are no holes. There are nothing.
The only other thing I've seen make one of those actually surge wasn't really a leaner rich mixture. I had one a while back.
But I mean, if they surge,
it's
always the bowl nut main jet that's clogged. And we all know how to do it. We all know. Yeah, we all know how to do that. But the bowl nut is also the main jet.
But maybe that little vent, can't you squirt carb spray into the metal part of the carb, and it'll go right through to the back?
Tiny pinhole in it. It's got a bit of diagonal in the throat of the carburetor.
Yeah.
Could be.
It should
you're right.
But whenever you guys have had a Quantum in that surges, you clean the bowl nut, which is the main jet.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
I do that.
And then it runs great again.
Usually.
But some of them, the bowl nut has the hole that goes sideways from up and down. You know?
Yeah.
And
they have a T in
another one in the threads.
That's the intake.
Yeah.
Tecumseh's did that too.
Yes, they did.
Tecumseh's got the money hole on the angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, one other thing
But-
I've seen make
But
them
the quantum,
surge.
if you can stay with the quantum for a second, sorry, Brett. I can't find that with them.
But there is a channel from the outside of the carburetor into the back. You can squirt straight through it.
Yeah, but have you ever just cleaned that without cleaning the bowl nut and then it ran
No.
great? No.
First thing I
Still got to clean that bowl
I
nut.
always clean the bowl nut.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the bowl nut is the
getting
main
fuel.
jet, and the main jet isn't what makes it surge. That's the idle circuit.
Mhm. But there is no
So-
idle circuit. Well, one of those paths might breathe back to the cylinder, though.
Could be. Yeah, you're right. Could be. Yeah.
and
we
if
should
you get one of them,
We should get Tom on this. He'll work on it for a week and come up with
Yeah.
a presentation. Yeah.
Yeah, the Tecumsehs have the 2-hole same thing, but it's a longer bolt that butts up against an actual emulsion tube, right? Like the Hondas, they're more like a Honda than they are like a brakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's different colored emulsion tubes for different sizes of engines too.
and the O-rings on them emulsion tubes, if they don't seal right.
Yeah, and those are the ones that get flattened out.
Yeah.
Now, here's another thing on quantum, and I actually ran into this one time. The little bushing where your throttle link goes in onto your throttle plate.
Yeah.
Had one of them come in one time. There was excessive play in it.
Oh yeah.
So that thing would kind of bounce and it would kind of act like a surge. Well, what I did with that was I looked at that link where that was riding in that throttle plate, and I seen there was some wear. Well, I changed that governor rod that goes from the carburetor over to the arm on the engine, found one that actually fit tighter, and that solved the issue.
Hmm.
But it's
A lot
just
of times that's why you have that extra spring though to keep it
Yeah.
taut.
Well, the quantums only have the one spring.
Right. Oh, and on the Briggs Classic, the Murray has a thicker throttle rod than the MTDs, for example. Have you the hole in the throttle that moves it like that, right?
Yeah.
And where that little hole is drilled, where the comes off the wind vanes on the governor, and that rod on the Murrays is thicker than the rods on the MPDs. Now we may only have 90% of them are MPDs here, and the rest of them are Murrays.
I've seen that, Bruce, on some of those ones that use that carburetor that have the mechanical governor. Where you've got your throttle rod, it's thick,
Yeah.
but the spring doesn't go on a little curlicue that's part of the throttle rod. It actually goes into a little teeny tiny hole
Yes.
where that throttle rod goes in.
Beside it, right beside the throttle
path.
rod. Yeah.
That uses the thicker one. Those are usually a white throttle plate.
That's right.
Shaft, where the smaller ones are black. They
Black.
use the air vane.
So I ended up taking the butterfly off of one, and the bigger one with a bigger hole, and the brass butterfly. Pulled it out, moved it over to this tank and this carburetor because that one was an MTD with the smaller throttle hole, and I just made it a Murray. But yeah.
All right, Ken, do you want to give an update about Taro's show tomorrow?
Well, I guess same time as this, 2:00 Eastern time, Terrell's doing a live repair. So if anyone listening here, watching here, wants to tune in tomorrow to Terrell's channel, he's not. I don't think he's going to release a 9 a.m. video like he normally does on a Sunday, but he's going to do a 1 p.m. Central Time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Time, live fix. So
Yeah. That's 8 o'clock.
yeah, 7 o'clock
time,
UK and 8 o'clock
7 o'clock UK. Yeah.
Denmark and Italy and
Yeah, that's 8 o'clock. Yeah.
so it should be. I don't know what he's fixing, but he's supposedly fixing something.
Right.
So
I mean, you got to say, Stella, she is one well-dressed lady. She really is.
Oh yeah, sexy. I love
Yeah.
that.
What I did?
Yeah.
there.
Green just fits you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yellow safety glass, right?
No.
Looks good. She looks good. I'll say that. She looks good.
Stella and I kind of like the. We a little bit.
You look like you're at work.
Yeah.
I am, and I will be soon.
Oh.
She's just in her natural habitat. That's all.
Stella, is that all volunteer? Or do you actually get paid?
No, I'm paid for that.
I'm going to
Well,
try
no,
and watch the hockey game tonight. It's the start of the last Stanley Cup series. The winner of these two, the winner wins the Stanley Cup, and Edmonton is the Canadian team, and we haven't had a Canadian winner for the Stanley Cup in 31 years.
Oh, geez. For hockey?
Hockey, I know we're the best in the world at it, and
Yeah.
our pros can't win.
Jeez.
Put them in Europe in the junior league, and they clean right up. But
Good practicing.
yeah, we've got too much money.
Here, the big thing is handball. That's
Really?
a big thing. Yeah, big
So
thing.
people say if there's a game close, like Calgary or
Wow.
Edmonton, they ask me that, right? And I say, well, why would a poor man go and pay to watch a rich man play a game?
I play handball once in a while.
Yeah.
The big thing is now
Not
pickleball
that
everywhere. Does anybody play that?
Yeah, they have one of the biggest pickleball courts in the country is in Stamford, Connecticut. Yeah.
Is that right? I know there's lots of pickleball in Mexico, but that's
Pickle-
or in
pickle-
Arizona. Sorry.
Pickleball, is that that French ball where you throw a metal ball in sand?
No. That's
Pickleball is like a
It's almost like a cross between tennis and badminton.
Tang,
or
yeah.
ping pong. Yeah.
but Tank. That's what you're thinking of, Klaus.
Okay, what's the other game, Hank?
It's a bigger paddle, solid paddle, and it's like tennis. You play it like tennis.
But you're close, yeah.
Yeah,
You don't have to run as fast.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Sounds almost like tetherball.
Well, it's almost like the ball never hits the ground. It's like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
care, no.
I know.
See ya, buddy.
Well,
So, you know.
well, Kenny, it's been an absolute blast as always.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go recharge the batteries and see if I can be of any assistance for Terrell tomorrow.
Hmm. Yeah, it should be fun. Like I said, 2:00 Eastern
Yeah.
time. So I'll be on there.
Yep,
care,
I'll be
Bob?
there.
A bunch of us will be moderating, so it'll be
I
fun.
gotta get 3 mowers fixed up for Monday.
Yeah, I gotta fix a bunch of stuff. All right, let me end it then. All right, everybody.
It was
We'll
fun.
see you on Terrell's tomorrow, 2 p.m.
Bye.
Eastern time. See you later.
That was great. Thanks again, Ken.
Yeah, no problem.
Love it.
And let's see. I wonder if Erica's gonna come up.